First, the president went after the FBI director. Then it was the special counsel leading the Russia investigation. Then it was his attorney general. Then it was his deputy attorney general. And now it's back to his attorney general. Get it? Is it personal, professional, or something more? And where is this all going to possibly end? The panel tonight. Joe Borelli is here, Republican New York City Councilman. Mike Morey. I butchered his name too much. I can't even help it, Mike. Democratic strategist and former communications director for Senator Chuck Schumer. Betsy Woodruff is here, a politics reporter for the Daily Beast. And Doug Heye, CNN political commentator and former communications director for the Republican National Committee. You can call me whatever you want for the rest of the day. That is what you have earned with my inability to say it. Joe's got some suggestions. Let us begin. Jeff Sessions. Betsy, the president has offered no vote of confidence in his attorney general in the past 24, 48, 30, 72 hours, hitting him again today for being weak and not being able to force the deputy acting FBI director,
That's a good summary of the criticisms the president has leveled at the attorney general.
At this point, it spans like the universe of possibility. Why can't he take the advice of everyone around him?
It's an excellent question. I spent yesterday talking to folks in Sessions' inner circle, confidants, allies, Washington legal luminaries, etc. The consensus that I heard is that nobody on the legal side, none of these D.C. insiders who've been there forever, can make head or tail of why the president is going after Sessions. One guy I spoke to said that the attorney general, I hope I'm allowed to say this word, is pissed, that they think the president's criticism is insane, cruel, and stupid. That's the view among folks who are close with Sessions, because, like, honestly, the fact that the president's criticizing Sessions for recusing is impossible to understand, because the DOJ regulation that explains when you're supposed to recuse basically says if you're in the exact situation that Jeff Sessions is in, you have to recuse.
You don't need a law degree or an ethics degree on this one. He said he was part of a campaign, an investigation involving that campaign he likely should not oversee.
If Trump wanted to know if Sessions needed to recuse, he could have just Googled, is Jeff Sessions going to have to recuse? It's pretty simple.
Doug, but the fact that now it is, I haven't found a Republican that has come to Donald Trump's defense on this one quite yet. If they've done anything, it has skirted around the issue and say, I can't speak for the president, but they will very quickly say, Jeff Sessions is doing a great job, or even going further. Lindsey Graham said this is a sign of weakness to the president. Either, basically, I could use a more colorful phrase for it, but either do it or don't. Either fire him because you've got the power, or give it up. What does this say?
Well, you won't find a Republican who's going to say a bad thing about Jeff Sessions right now, or a good thing about how Donald Trump's handled this. I think what's been interesting is the one true firewall that Trump has had in all of this has been conservative media and conservative spokespeople. They're starting to separate themselves from President Trump just over the past couple of days on this.
Does this hurt him with folks? Does this hurt him? Could this have longer term fallout other than poor Jeff Sessions at this point?
Absolutely. Jeff Sessions was one of the first and earliest and most vocal supporters that he had. So if you're somebody who really stuck your neck out for Donald Trump, you're wondering if you can be next.
It hurts him with all the thought leaders who the Republican base trusts. It hurts him with Tucker Carlson. It hurts him with Laura Ingraham.
You know who the president doesn't need? He doesn't need a thought leader. He's an outsider. No, I mean it. But like, this is kind of vintage Donald Trump. He is not going with the establishment, that's you. Yeah, he's not going with the media, that's you. He's not going with anybody else, and he's going at his route. But can you explain this one?
If you like movies like The Godfather, where the boss is always sending very discreet, no, but they're always sending very discreet messages.
That's when this administration, everyone gets it.
But if you're thinking of him as a boss who's going to send discreet messages and sort of back channel and backroom conversations, Donald Trump is not that person, and we saw that with the health care vote and in his conversation with the Senate last week. What you're seeing, I think, is actually Donald Trump coming to the realization that he has to take some people's advice, because I don't think there is anyone in his circle that is telling him that firing Jeff Sessions, whether he may want to do it or not. Anthony Scaramucci was very honest when he said, I don't know.
Yeah,
right. So I think people are telling him that he shouldn't be firing Sessions, and he is venting in his own Donald Trump way that he knows he can't, and this is how he's going to handle it.
It's actually a lot easier to understand. If you were to read this story on the international section of the New York Times, this would be very clear to you. Leader who is under investigation for collusion with a foreign nation is now trying to force out the chief law enforcement officer of the country, who happens to run the department of which the investigation takes place. If you read that in the New York Times and it had the word Russia next to it, or maybe Slovakia or some nation in Eastern Europe, this would be very easy to understand.
Turkey?
But on a broader, it's starting to get to the point, because he just can't give it up, that I'm truly starting to wonder, is this a personal slight that he can't get over because he feels like Sessions gave up on him, or is the president starting to question the legal foundation of our democracy? Because he's questioning. He wants Sessions to be done with the Russia investigation, clearly, because that's why he fired Comey. He wants Sessions to instruct the Department of Justice to investigate Hillary Clinton again. He's attacking Andrew McCabe, the acting FBI director, who he actually interviewed for the full-time spot in May over something I can't even, don't make me go down the rabbit hole again. But which is it?
All the available indicators are that this is personal, that Trump feels like Sessions betrayed him. Sessions was not a loyal foot soldier in the way he should have been, and now he's just sort of corralling all the available criticisms of Sessions he can lob. Look, if Trump were serious about ending
to use your phrase, is he just pissed that he can't make people do what he wants them to do?
Not loyal in the sense that he won't shut down an investigation into him.
Right,
That's
because the definition of loyalty is sort of different.
I think Bessie's right. I think Bessie's right. I think this is personal, and I think there's evidence to suggest that both men believe it's personal, because you see Jeff Sessions now telegraphing they're not ready to announce that they're going to do this investigation of leaks. They're saying that they're going to be ready to announce that they're going to announce the leaks in the coming weeks. I think that's a little telegraph to Donald Trump saying, hey, boss, I want to be back in your good graces.
In and of itself, you're not supposed to announce when you start an investigation. That's totally bizarre for me.
You're not supposed to announce things just to make your boss happy if it involves the Department of Justice again. That's... Okay. Breathe collectively, and we breathe. Because next, it's going to be a much easier conversation. The president may be having trouble reaching a final decision on the fate of his attorney general, but he apparently has no problem making a sweeping decision and announcing it that impacts much more than one cabinet member. Try thousands of members of the military. So what now?